and get rolling and try to do what we do every week, which is prepare and figure out who we have available and what we feel like the keys are going to be, and try to practice and be ready to go. That's all we've done all year, and it's all we'll be able to do this week in the playoffs.
Mike, just a thought on Rhamondre today with 131 yards rushing, 22 receiving, 3 touchdowns. The last 3 games, it seems like, especially after contact, he's been real good. Just what you've seen from him
just build his confidence and appreciate, all of our backs' ability to protect. And, Rhamondre does that, and I think that goes sometimes unnoticed, and I know that that's not as, sexy as or exciting as, the run game production and the pass receiving, but, he cares deeply about this team. I was excited to be able to have him be a game captain for us, and I think he's just continued to get better. He's continued to make people miss and to run hard and still protect the football.
Mike, I know you'll have to review the film, but what do you see from Will Campbell and Milton Williams throughout the week and today in their return?
I thought that they were okay. I thought Milt factored a few times. Again, a lot of great efforts out there. I'm not going to signal Will or Milt. I'm sure they did okay.
Mike, you end this first season with 14 wins. Just what does it mean for you to have a start like this here?
It means we are the 2nd seed, and we're going to host the Chargers, and we start over. The only wins that are going to matter is going to be the ones that we can get moving forward.
Mike, to that point, when you stood in this room months ago and said we want to win the division, host playoff games, and compete for championships, you're here. I understand the season's not over, but how does that happen in the matter of months?
We got the right guys in the building at the right time, and we got good quarterback play. We figured out how to not beat ourselves. I think we play to an identity, and guys make plays. That's what happens. So I'm excited for all those guys that, again, when you chase wins, usually the production comes along with it. And so we need to focus on winning and the efforts that are going to help us win. And in turn, you end up with all the plays that you're going to need. And I think you saw that.
Hi, Mike. I'm just curious, with Rhamondre Stevenson, is there anything you can pinpoint to maybe the turnaround he had towards the second half of the season from the fumbling issues maybe early on to just now kind of dominating on the field?
Just hard work and perseverance, and I think Tony and all the offensive coaches, do a great job in emphasizing, ball security, and I think just him being just, we kind of felt like we got into a little flow with him and Travion and Rhamondre and kind of figured out, where that balance was. And I think that they did a great job. We need them both. We need Dearness, but, figuring out the balance with Rhamondre and Travion and those guys both taking advantage of the opportunities that they have. So I feel like that's a good flow by, Josh and Tony calling the game and getting the guys in there, and to the players' credit, they take advantage of the times that they get the touches that they get.
Coach, sorry about that. Coach, with that said, how important is it this time of the year to establish that running game and that physical presence heading into the playoffs? You better
be able to do that in the tournament. You better be able to take care of the football. You better be able to create some turnovers, and you have to have efficient quarterback play. That's no secret. And you're going to have to execute situations like we did at the end of half, whether that be at the end of the half or the end of game to get some points, or But that's what it comes down to.
Jack Gibbons forced a fumble, almost had an interception. What has he meant to you this season specifically since he's had to step into a big role without Robert Spillane?
Well, he's always prepared. We talk about playing multiple positions with limited reps, so he's always prepared. Usually in the right place at the right time, and takes coaching, and he's a very instinctive player, and gets everybody lined up. He's a great communicator. He's a great teammate, and excited and happy that we have him.
Key in the middle.
Mike, you called a timeout on the 4th and 1 play in the first half. Was that mainly due to the play clock running out, or trying to giving yourself the time to check the spot on Henry's catch?
Probably a little bit of both, making sure that we had the right personnel. We didn't execute the play, and so a little bit of that is being able to, check the spot, see if it was a little closer, but just didn't execute very well in that particular play.
Mike, when you signed Stephon Diggs in the offseason, you probably had an idea of what you wanted to see from him. He goes over 1,000 yards in the year for a 7th time in his career. What have you seen from him in terms of the offseason, in terms of his leadership on and off the field, and the performance today?
Very consistent. I mean, he sits where Mike sits every day. He's up front. He's attentive. There's an energy to him. He's been out there. He's been available. He's taking care of his body. And then the production, I think that has been fantastic. And so I'm glad that we have him.
Locker room's open. Chris Ryan on the left. And
Mike, turnover differential, how key has that been in the overall aspect of what this team has done?
I mean, it's gotten better, right? We battled back and it wasn't very good. And, when you have 5 in one game, you got plenty to make up. But I felt like there was a conscious effort, and the attempts on defense improved. The ball security, the 2 in traffic, not relaxing at the sideline, quarterback making great decisions. I think that there was a conscious effort to do that. And in this league, when the games are as close as they are, that makes a big difference. So we need to still try to affect the football and turn it over defensively. And I'm just frustrated with the blocked field goal. And we went all 17 weeks, and all we did was become the 38th or 39th blocked field goal of the NFL this year. So appreciate you guys. See you in a couple days.
All right, that was Mike Vrabel, Patriots head coach, after a 14-win season following the 38-10 win over the Dolphins today. Mike Vrabel's press conference is powered by Oakers Technologies. The new year means time for new technology at your school or business. Turn to Oakers for products like TouchView Interactive, Full IT, and more. Get future ready in 2026 with Oakers, proud partner of your New England Patriots. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray. Joey, from the outhouse to the penthouse, sort of. Huge win, huge season, enormous turnaround, a million areas, a million places to go. What is your biggest takeaway sitting there following the huge win, the 38-10, and the turnaround that we just alluded to?
You want to see a team play well going into the playoffs, and if you want to look at the numbers themselves, the Patriots have outscored their opponents 80-20 in the final 2 games of the year. Like, that's a message, right? Also, we saw Milton Williams and Will Campbell back today. Milton Williams, I thought, made an impact defensively. I mean, I didn't see Will Campbell, and he didn't do anything for me to be critical about. The Chase-on injury, we got to keep our eyes on that one.
Did anyone ask Vrabel about the Chase-on injury?
Nope.
Okay.
You got 5 touchdowns, 4 rushing and 1 receiving from Rhamondre Stevenson, he's getting going. And let's not leave out Travion Henderson, who's putting up, 60 to 80 yards a game and multiple touchdowns. So overall, like, the takeaway, the red zone defense. I know it wasn't perfect defensively. I know they gave up some plays and third downs and whatever, but they forced a turnover in the red zone. Well, actually 2 if you want to call the 4 and out. And they forced turnovers today. The offense is outscored 80-20, and the defense is playing better in the red zone. So I think, and even the kicker, I know he missed one, but kicked a 60-yarder as well. So I just think that in all 3 phases, they're going in the right direction heading into the playoffs.
And I'm going to just say, this is my big takeaway. We've talked a lot about the schedule. The schedule still remains a topic of conversation. Consistency, Joe. I just think they were consistent. They were so consistent all year long, which is tough to do in the NFL. I don't care what your schedule is. They were consistent. Now, there were ups and downs in certain aspects of the team. I get that. The red zone defense, the rush defense, beginning of the year, it was really good. Then it dropped off. There were injuries. Things fluctuated. But overall, this team played consistent football. Offensively, Drake May, I thought was about as consistent as you could ask a dynamic quarterback to be. The way they played games, so consistent. If they started slow, they found a way to right the ship. If they ended poorly, they bounced back in the next game. If they found a way to win a game and then lost the game the next week, which didn't happen often, they found a way once again to put a good effort together and get a win and go on another streak or whatever. I just thought they were consistent all year long. They were level-headed. Mike Vrabel, that's a credit to him. That's a credit to the quarterback, the leadership, the coordinators, Josh McDaniels. I mean, everybody. I just can't get over the level of consistency. It reminded me of some of those older Patriots teams. I'm not going to say any names. I know you can't compare. It just reminded me how consistent they were. That you knew what you could expect from them really week in and week out. And I think that is a really big deal for a team in the NFL and a team that has big ideas heading into a playoff situation.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it last week. They always played 60 minutes, right? Even the games they've lost, they were in it at the end. So from start to finish this year, the Patriots put themselves in a situation to be in every game. But 14-3 should be celebrated. 14-3 is something that's only happened a couple of times in Patriots history. Some of the numbers, multiple touchdown games or just games with a touchdown by Drake May. You're going to hear the name, Tom Brady. He's the last to do it since blank. The running backs today, last to do it since 2014, 4 touchdowns. This was a record-breaking season, and it truly was something I don't think people expected. So I do think, as for today, and we'll await it's going to be the Chargers. Just when
the Chargers, L.A. Chargers.
So I will just say this: I think that this should be celebrated. If you're driving home, you should celebrate this season. I know this week there was some adversity. Did it look like it out there today?
No, and we
Not
didn't
at all.
expect for it to be that way. We talked a lot this week about how the team has handled it. I thought this was interesting. Just because you brought it up really quick, the way that they handled it, I thought this whole week, controversies aside, and those situations are ugly, and we're going to see how the legal process plays out and all of that. We understand. I thought, though, from a football perspective, and this is the post-game show, the way the culture was put on display this week, I thought was significant. Forget about how they handled it. That's different. Whether you liked what Vrabel had to say or the comments he made, that's different. I thought from a culture perspective, the team was strong, and that's why I'm not surprised that they played the way that they played and it didn't really affect them. I thought that was a really good thing, despite the fact that the allegations are ugly and you don't want to see anything like that materialize, obviously. I thought from a culture perspective, the team handled it the right way if you're trying to win football games, which is what you're supposed to do as an NFL team. So that's kind of how I feel about their on-field ability and how they handle that from a culture perspective, because that's important when you're trying to win at the highest level, which I guess right now they're trying to do, because Drake May might be the MVP. Thoughts on the MVP after this game and what Stafford did out in Arizona, or I guess against Arizona in LA this afternoon?
I would just like to let everyone know, just because the betting odds might have somebody as the favorite doesn't mean that they can win the award. There are people who will vote on it, but just to give you the numbers, it's dead even right now between Matt Stafford and Drake May on DraftKings.
Dead even.
Minus 115.
That is crazy. So Stafford had a big statement game today. 4 touchdowns, no picks, threw for around 259 yards. Drake May, more modest statistically. What was it, 192, 1 touchdown, no pick. So he was fine. Got a lot of help. And I think what happened was more important, Joe, honestly, for the Patriots' big picture. I would love for him to win the MVP. I haven't been shy about that. But big picture-wise, to reestablish Rhamondre Stevenson, I mean, whoever you play next week, we know it's the Chargers. The Chargers will be thinking about Rhamondre Stevenson this week now, okay? Maybe that wouldn't have been the case 2 weeks ago. Today, tonight, tomorrow, they're going to be thinking about Rhamondre Stevenson, and is he a factor? Okay, that's not supposed to be the Patriots' MO. Their MO is down the field and killing you with big plays, and Drake May being dynamic. So this was a great scenario. I would have loved for May to throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns to sort of drive home the MVP. I would have loved it. But you get Rhamondre Stevenson to have the game that he had to really get your attention if you're LA. I don't know why years after they left, I still say San Diego. If you're LA, That's a good thing for the Patriots going into next week.
Yeah, they rested their guys, and I think we've talked about it before. Drake May, when he comes off somewhat of a short week, or even a layoff for that matter, he gets a slow start. I wonder if there's something to him maybe deferring to the running game today. Like the running backs, again, 5 touchdowns, but 4 rushing and 1 receiving from Stevenson today. Like that, he could have ran one in, he didn't. I almost love the fact that he could have been thinking about it. Hey, coach, I really want this. And I believe they would have done that. But I bet you the humble kid that we've seen him to be was probably like, let's just win, coach. Let's get out of here clean today. Let's win, and let's look at the playoffs. So I don't know if that will be taken into account, but
yeah.
I love the fact that, like, they could have chased stuff today. Steph Diggs could have chased money, right? Hunter Henry could have chased money today. Instead, they just wanted to beat the crap out of the Dolphins.
Correct. Who do you think wins the MVP? You. Who do you think wins? Not who should win. Who do you think wins?
My number one reason against Matthew Stafford, and I'm being consistent on this, but he has 14 touchdowns of 1 yard or more. So do we credit him for scoring in all of those goal line situations where the Patriots had their issues? Or are they just inflated stats because they were 1 yarders? Right? And I don't want to compare it to like David Pasternak empty goals or things of that degree.
Yeah.
But I just think that Stafford has got the team into the end zone in short situations more than May. But I just think that inflated the stats also. So it's Drake May is my answer.
I think they're going to give it to Stafford. If it's close, you said it was close, I think they're going to give it to Stafford if it's close. And it's close enough where I think that this game kind of reestablishes his market. It's close. I think all that lifetime achievement crap is going to come into play. I would give it to May based on, because I put more emphasis. I think if it's close, you give it to the guy who is more valuable.
Yes.
Value.
That's the name of the award.
That's
right?
what I would do. Okay? I don't think they're going to do that. I hope I'm wrong. I think they're going to give it to Stafford. I would give it to Drake May. He's more valuable, and the stats are close.
Yeah, just like if we're going to use today's games, like the Patriots beat the crap out of the Dolphins today and didn't need Drake May to be Drake May. Where like today
close.
They fought against the Jacoby Brissett Cardinals.
I know,
and we're down in the game.
Right, I get it, but they're gonna. The problem is it's close, so you're gonna look at every little game, every little statistic from every game, and you could say the same thing about the Jets. Wow, it's the Jets, and they're awful, and he played twice against the Jets, and did they get an interception today? The Jets. They set the record?
They didn't.
Unbelievable. And their head coach is a former defensive back. Unbelievable. How do you operate if you're a Jets fan in a football world? I don't know how you do it.
Just to add to that, Tom Brady, I saw Carlos, he's a big Patriots guy. But think about this. The Patriots won 6 Super Bowls, tanked for a couple of years, got Drake May, and are now back in the playoffs all before the Dolphins won a playoff game.
I mean, this is the way, I don't know if we talked about it on this show, but this is the way I think is the most efficient way back to the top. And we've had this conversation with Mike and Tony, bottoming out. And then if you end up getting a situation where you can pick a quarterback, you pick high in the draft, you get the quarterback, you bring in the right coach, boom, you're back. That's probably, that's the NFL today, and that's what the league has created with all the rules slanted towards quarterbacks, but that's probably the best way to do it. Versus, Tampa, having a great roster and trying to patchwork a quarterback, Baker Mayfield on his 3rd team, whatever, 4th team. Doing it that way is not as good, not as efficient, but this is the way the Patriots did it, and now here we are on the verge of the playoffs and looking pretty good.
I think we should
pretty good.
I think we should celebrate it. We'll talk
100%.
about the Chargers game as well. But I just thinking about teams over the years, how many teams just have the draft and the veterans come in and the guys that were here, and a new coach comes in and literally blasts out all the captains, right? Except for Hunter Henry and a couple of guys, everybody just blows them out, brings in all his guys. Couple of guys he's got he inherited, and it all works out. And they struggled early in the season, right? They went on a run. So schedule this, schedule that. This is a great season. We will talk about this year. And now the expectations are high because, You have a coach who knows what he's doing, and now they've become attractive. And they potentially have either the runner-up or the MVP of the league.
And they got a field in the AFC that's wide open. And the other thing, this, again, Joe, we're going to reiterate this, okay? They didn't just win the games. They didn't just win 14 games because they were a good team, good roster, ground and pound in defense, and the quarterback didn't make mistakes. No. They won because this quarterback is dynamic. He makes plays. He oohs and ahs the fans with the throws he makes, and they find ways to win. And he wins games. And they can overwhelm opponents because of their offense and timely defense. That's noteworthy. This wasn't the Jets. This wasn't the Rex Ryan Jets or something like that found their way to some playoff success. And we'll see what happens. This is the dynamic quarterback that has arrived and is on the precipice of the MVP. And we got a lot more to get to, including we're going to hear from that dynamic quarterback when he gets to the podium. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show on the Safety Insurance 98.5 The Sports on Patriots Radio Network.
The scrimmage, left foot forward, extends the hands, takes the snap on third down and short. He throws it right in the end zone, wide open. Stevenson, he snags it. Touchdown, Patriots!
What did I say earlier when they go empty? You're going to have opportunities with these running backs. You split them out, and you like the matchup. If it's a big safety or if it's a linebacker, we used to do this with Gronk. Flex them out, and if you get the matchup, little stick move, it's almost a double move. It's a great route by a running back.
All right, back here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray with 17 completions by the Patriots today. Catches law. They donate another $1,700, which brings the catches for college season total to, ready for this, Joey? $36,000. The Catches Care Scholarship ensures financial hurdles will not prevent students from pursuing their dreams. Drake May pursuing his dreams, and everything is right in front of him as the playoffs loom. And here's Drake May at the podium. His press conference brought to you by your Chevrolet dealers.
Drake, how you going on? Just a thought on what you guys were able to do. You were here last year, 14 wins. You make the playoffs. You'll host the Chargers here next weekend in a first-round matchup. How excited are you about what you guys were able to accomplish today and all season long?
Yeah, I think we've come a long way. I think we, it takes everybody. It took everybody in that locker room, took every coach, and I think it starts now. That's what we wanted to. One of the goals: host home playoff games, and this is what we wanted to. So it's win or go home, and the mentality changes from that standpoint. But really, I think we just have to stay playing like us, and we've built this identity and played to it, and I think good things happen.
Hey, Drake. Do you have any kind of relationship with Justin Herbert, and what do you like about him as a quarterback?
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know if I've met Justin. I don't think I have. I know him through people and heard great things. Obviously, I love his game. I love the way he throws the football. Throws at a really high level. He can make plays, on the move. Can throw, make plays off platform. He can, launch it. And I think just the way he holds himself and cares about his teammates and is really about the team and not about himself. I have a lot of respect for Justin and how he, plays the game and plays at a really high level.
Hey, Drake, in a likely MVP season, I'm interested in what you feel like your greatest accomplishments were, this year, whether it's from a statistical standpoint with the QB rating or whatever you're able to accomplish. What stands out to you and you're the most proud of in your accomplishments?
Yeah, I think 14 wins. That's the first thing that comes to mind. 14 wins and probably 8-0 on the road. That's probably the biggest thing I'm most proud of. Just going on the road 8 times and coming out, victorious all of them. So that was pretty cool. And from there, I think just the ability to get a lot of people involved. I think that's one of the best things about our offense. We get a lot of people involved, a lot of people catching passes, a lot of people scoring touchdowns, a lot of guys that are making plays at different parts of the game. And I think that's one of the toughest things about the ways to defend us. So that's probably what I'm most proud of.
Drake, Christian just mentioned you guys might not even enjoy this one tonight because obviously the playoffs are here next weekend. What was the messaging in the locker room as far as that goes? Understanding it's a whole new season. Where's your mind at in that regard?
Yeah, that's what Coach Vrabel just hit on at the end. It's a new, different ball game. It's win or go home, and that's what you laid out on the line. This is what you play in the NFL for. Playoff games at home on a home crowd, and we got a tough opponent coming in. I know they got some great players, and we saw them here last year. So I think they're a good team.
Drake, you guys were up 14-0. Everything looked great. Then it was 14-10, and things were stumbling a little bit. What made you guys able to find your rhythm again after that and score 24 straight points to end the game?
Yeah, I think just staying true to us. I think on offense it's staying on track, getting ahead of the chains. I think the first 3 and out we had, it was 3 straight incompletions. I got to find a way to get the ball in people's hands to make some plays and not have 3 incompletions. And then from there we had the field goal, they got blocked, and then just wanted to play true to us. And that wasn't really something that they were doing. It was just us executing. Played a lot of zone tonight, so just executing versus zone, getting good spacing, and find ways to catch it and get upfield. And from there, our defense made some big plays. And that coming out of the half, the interception was huge, and we just didn't stop from there.
Hey, Drake, how would you describe Rhamondre Stevenson's impact of late and now the opportunity to use him in the passing game the way you have the last few weeks, complementing what Trayvion's able to do.
Yeah, he's a tough back. He can move. He's agile. He's got a little jump cut, 2-foot jump cut that I just love watching on film. He just makes people miss like that, and he can catch. He's got great hands. He's smart. He does blocks and protection. Unbelievable this year. He always tells me I owe him something. I really do. I do owe him something. He's done a great job. And then from there, because we're trying to have backs that can do it in all three phases. Running the football, catching the football, and blocking. And I think him and Trayvion have done a great job of that. And obviously we missed AG, but AG's another one. So having three backs that can do that. And Rhamondre is just you guys see him around here. He's as cool as can be and calm and chill. And he's a great player in this league.
Final questions, Mike.
Drake, you mentioned the 14 wins being the accomplishment that you seized on the most. This team won 4 games last year. It won 4 the year before that. How did this happen? How did this transformation happen so quickly?
Yeah, I think it starts from top down. I think from the Crafts to them deciding to hire Coach Vrabel to kind of bringing him in here and just buying into what he was coaching us hard and coaching us to believe in. And I think from there it's us players that are got some new players in here, some new faces that I think that from the organization has really gelled well together. We enjoy being around these guys. I know a lot of defensive guys well and enjoy being around them. I don't think it's really any, me. I think the most me you'll saw this year is us getting some guys, some incentives out there tonight. That was probably the most. And that's just something that they've earned. And I think from there, everybody pulls for each other. We're trying to get off the sideline to pump each other up, and it's always it's never doubt and belief in what this team can do, and it works all three phases. We a lot of belief in each other, and we hang out and enjoy being around each other.
Last question for Drake.
Hi, Drake. Just curious, speaking of incentives, Stephon Diggs hit an incentive for going over 1,000 receiving yards this season. I asked him about it, but I'm just curious, for a guy who's coming back from an ACL injury to now have the season he's had, just what has his impact on this team meant to you personally, and just what has he shown throughout this season to be able to reach this accomplishment?
Yeah, first off, credit to Steph for his ability to bounce back and heal up from an injury like that in such a short period of time. And really since the time I met him, first time I met him, and I got the receivers together in the offseason, and invited him thinking, okay, we'll see, who knows, Steph's big time if he'll show up, and he showed up and was running routes and, back in home in North Carolina. And kind of from that point on, I feel like, man, it's, you're looking forward to getting with him on the field and seeing him do his thing. And he's done his thing time and time again. Some games he's not getting the ball as much as, any receiver would want to, and he's still trying to block hard and keeps the energy up and, breaking the team down and motivating me. And I think it's just, he's meant the world to me, and I appreciate, every time I go out there with him and a player like him. I just don't take that for granted, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in playoff football. Thank you, guys.
That was Patriots quarterback Drake May after 192 yards, a touchdown. Drake May's press conference is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado, where dependability comes standard. A lot more to go on the postgame show. We're going to talk about Drake May, the MVP, the road ahead, the AFC playoffs, this game. Greg Bedard will join us a little bit later. We're going to get a headlines right now from Joe Murray. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Safety Insurance 98.5, the Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network.
and 2 to the right. Takes the snap, hands it off. Travion through the right side, slicing into the end zone. Touchdown, New England.
Little wrinkle here today. Tight end goes in motion. It was Hooper on the Rhamondre run. And then this time, it's Hunter Henry coming across left to right, gets the wham block to get Henderson into the end zone. Way too easy.
All right, back here on the Charles and Star Market Patriots postgame show. 617-779-0985. Again, 617-779-0985. 14 wins for the New England Patriots. That was the drive of the game, brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms. Drive of the game, 3 plays, 70 yards. The Henderson 5-yard run. Rhamondre Stevenson announcing his presence or reasserting his presence ahead of the playoffs. I think that is going to benefit the Patriots as they get set for a huge showdown next week. We're still waiting to hear what time the game will be, but next week when the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. As of now, we go to you. Jake is in the car. Jake, thanks for holding.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So I was at the game. I just got home. It was an absolute fantastic game to finish off the season with a 14-3 record. I saw a little bit of Dobbs. He looks pretty good. Good to have a secondary just in case. But with Drake May with that offense did the short of perfection. Will Campbell looks pretty good. It was good to see Barmore do good. Diggs, again, a good couple of receiving receptions. Everything looks good. The only really thing that I'm worried about is that first half, our third down defense was a little bit shaky, but we quickly turned it around in the second half. And I'm happy that we're going to be facing the Chargers next week. That's going to be a very good matchup with Justin Herbert and May facing off against each other. It's going to be great. My question is, what do you think would be some good adjustments in the defense to counteract Justin Herbert's high-flying offense?
Well, the first thing I'll say about the defense, I appreciated their effort today. I felt the presence of Milton Williams. I felt the presence of Christian Barmore. He had a sack. You know what I would say, Joe? You remember what happened the last time they won the Super Bowl? Do you remember vividly what happened? They changed their defense, beginning maybe in the last week or two of the regular season, and they became the boogeymen. They didn't have the nickname yet, but they became the boogeymen. This defense has had some issues, some struggles this year, red zone, running. What I would say, just to answer the caller's question, I would try to cook up something that the league hasn't seen this year defensively, whether that's more exotic blitzing, different type of coverage scheme, something schematically, defensively. Doesn't have to be a wild change of philosophy. I'm just talking about if you could add a new wrinkle, a different wrinkle that maybe you haven't shown for much of the year and give teams something to think about that they haven't seen beginning in the playoffs. That's what they did in 2018. And if you think that's their weakness, which I do, I think that's their biggest weakness. If you want to try to throw everything you have at a playoff run, I would try to come up with some new wrinkle, a blitz package, something for the red zone, something for a run stop that you can do that you haven't shown this year defensively, and maybe try to catch some teams off guard and create a little doubt in teams because you've showed them something that you haven't shown them all year. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that, and maybe you can attack their offensive line with the down linemen.
Sure.
So, for example, if they can contain an Amari and Hampton, and what's the other guy's name? Kamani Vidal?
Yeah.
You hold them back to rushing yards and their offensive line struggling. Well, now they have 3 or 4 receivers, right? Quentin Johnston's their biggest receiver. Keenan Allen, we know what he can do, and Ladd McConkey's the guy that can get open. I'd go man. They don't go man. They don't do it often. They don't. I'd go man. But the one thing I will say where I think they can hurt the Patriots, they have 3 tight ends, and Gadsden can play receiver. He's listed as a tight end, but they have Will Dissly, who's been around. Conklin's been around.
Yep.
Big boys.
Yep.
And that's what I'm trying to say about you got to stop the run first. Don't forget, Justin Herbert can also run the football. That's why I'd go man. To your point, something different that they haven't shown this year.
And I try to get pressure, which is what they did. Really exotic blitzes. I mean, for you know what, Joe? Their secondary is supposed to be one of their strengths. They've got one of the better corners in the league. That's what he's going to the Pro Bowl. Marcus Jones had a really good year.
Big sack today.
Yeah, I mean, look, Carlton Davis, I feel like he's Mr. Close but no cigar, but he's not overall, he's a pretty good number 2. He's not a guy I don't like having around as a number 2. And there's safeties, we were talking before the show, are you can play with those guys. If that's a strength of your defense, lean on them. Create a little bit of pressure. Take advantage of their offensive line health issues and try to get Justin Herbert. Because I don't think L.A. and Jim Harbaugh I don't think they want to get into a track meet. I think they want to kind of grind it down, run the ball, hit some tight ends, let Justin Herbert play on schedule and keep it close and then strike late. I don't think they want to get into a high-flying track meet against a team that's comfortable playing that way. That's the way the Patriots like playing. That's the way they want to play when they're at their best.
Yeah, I'm curious what people think about this one. I got some thoughts on it. They're favored 3.5 right now. So Vegas thinks.
So that's pretty even if they're home and they're favored by 3.
Yeah,
it's a pretty even.
Yeah, it's significant though. It's through the key number of 3, which means money probably already came in on the Patriots.
Tyler's in Taunton. Hey, Tyler.
How's it going, guys? First time call, long time listener. Just curious, what do you guys' opinion on how tonight's game went for Drake May in regards to his MVP chances here? It was a weird game for him. Just curious what you guys' opinion is on it.
So I'll say, Tyler, I wish they let him cook a little bit more. I wish they made it a priority a little bit more selfishly. I appreciate that they did just what they needed to do to crush the Dolphins. I wish they did a little bit more for Drake May. Not that he even wishes that. And you asked me, was that during the commercial when you asked me if I thought he sounded dejected?
Did he sound like he wasn't oh shoot? How about that?
Okay.
I didn't feel like he was
I didn't hear it. I was looking and reading some stuff.
Same thing. There was not a lot to take out of it. He's looking forward to it.
I wish they did. I wish they made it a little bit more of a priority. Let's get him 2 touchdowns and over 200 yards. Try to have a benchmark you were going for just to try to drive. He was he was the favorite going into the day.
Yeah. I
would have liked a little bit more. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I just would have liked a little bit more prioritizing of the MVP from my perspective.
See, this was the school of Mike Vrabel, right? Mike Vrabel played on a team where it wasn't about individual awards, right? I felt that takeaway today. Like him not, to your point, they didn't give him some of the opportunities. But there was nothing Drake May did today to hurt his case. How about that? He did nothing today. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't take a bad sack. Actually, at the end of the half, for the 60-yard field goal, he was running in the middle of the field. They had no timeouts. Somehow made his way out of bounds. He didn't do anything to hurt his case, and he played smart and played team football, which is a staple of Mike Vrabel's career.
Sure. I just wish he did something to win the award, a little bit more statistically to drive it home to win the award. That's all. I'm not criticizing anyone. It's not a critical point. I wish that's what happened. But ultimately, he's healthy. They got out of the game. They got out of the game healthy. I don't think we haven't heard anything on Chase on. I don't think it's a problem, but he got out of the game healthy. I'm talking about May now. So did most of the rest of the starters. You looked good. I thought you addressed some areas of concern. Overall, great day. Tim is in Miami. Hey, Tim.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're talking about the coaching. Obviously, Vrabel is a huge upgrade over Gerard Mayo. Obviously, McDaniels is an exponential upgrade over Alex Van Pelt. Under the radar, I think Doug Marrone. This guy is our O-line coach. He's a former head coach. That O-line... There was a play, I think it was in the second quarter, maybe early in the third. They completely walled off the entire right side of the line, the left side of the Dolphins' pass rush. And Morgan Moses, that guy is a force. If he doesn't have to leave the field to, take a dump again, he's going to be a force for us next week.
Yeah, as long as the bowels stay in check, we're good.
Could be his last game.
Look. Yeah, I think a lot of the coaches deserve. I mean, when they're as organized, when they're as consistent as they are this year or were this year, you have to give credit to coaches up and down that staff because Vrabel, McDaniels, I know Terrell Williams was out a lot of the year. All the coaches really stepped up and did the job well this year. Drake May deserves some of that credit because he's a coach on the field. I thought it was a really banner year, obviously, for what the coaching staff was trying to accomplish. How could you say anything else?
Coaching staff's been outstanding, and maybe it's not talked enough, but there's a lot of guys on that staff that were former head coaches. A lot of them. Thomas Brown was the Bears.
Yeah.
Downing it was for a period of time. Doug Marrone, again, with the Jaguars, right? Like, they have Josh McDaniels. And they lost their defensive coordinator. They literally lost their defensive coordinator, and they've coached it up. So it's an incredible season. It should be celebrated, and they might have the coach of the year. How about now, Shanahan versus Vrabel? Shanahan last night, their offense struggled bad against Seattle. I think Mike Vrabel's the coach of the year.
Ben Johnson.
So that's who I wanted the Patriots to have.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they lost today.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that probably counts towards coach.
Patriots had a better record. Number 2 seed. Tougher division, the NFC North, but
and the Bears were just a better roster than the Patriots.
And you're just not going to get an argument from me. With the way that the team was in this disgusting turmoil and how they had operated the last 2 seasons, you're just not going to get an argument from me. 617-779-0985. This is the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots Postgame Show on the Safety Insurance 98.5, the Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network.
the snap from the shotgun. He retreats. He runs. He tosses on the go and finds Diggs open at the 30. Runs near side 25. Tried to turn the corner. Tackled across the 20-yard line. Brought down inbounds at the 17.
Is that a $500,000 catch right here? I think so. 30 yards he needed to hit 1,000.
He needed 21 before that grab. And Stephon Diggs for the Patriots has gone beyond the 1,000-yard mark. With a catch and run, Drake May on a 34-yard completion. The 7th 1,000-yard season for Stephon Diggs.
What production
in his career as a Viking, Bill, and now first-year Patriot.
All right, welcome back. Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray, 617-779-0985. New England converted 22 first downs today, and with every first down, credit unions Kids at Heart funds promising studies into new treatments for pediatric brain diseases. Learn more at cukidsatheart.org. And that was Stephon Diggs going over the 1,000 yards mark, 34 yards on that one, cashing in on an incentive in the process. And Joey, he's going to be huge for the Patriots as we approach the playoffs here. He's going to be huge. He's a game changer, playmaker, and they're going to need him.
Oh, they're absolutely going to need him. And, you know, the thing I like about him most this year, he has come along over the last couple of weeks, but today, you know, I remember his catches, though, right? Like he only had, I think, 3? Yeah. 3 receptions. But he averaged 14 yards per reception on 3 targets. Next week, I do think that they could feel the loss of Mac Hollins.
Sure.
Because you're going up against a physical team.
Yep.
But I'd probably go back to the 12 personnel this week. I don't think they start. I think they went Booty and I think Chisholm was on the field, actually, on the opening drive today with Diggs. So they went with 3 wide receivers today.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go back to that 12 personnel, 1 running back. Problem is that how you have to handle the running back situation? I know we're talking about Diggs, but Diggs does make everyone better. Do you remember on one of the crossing routes, he came over the middle and 3 guys were on him in a zone, but Pop Douglas was going the other way. If May hit Pop, I think Pop scores the touchdown. But literally, the guy gets open whenever he wants and makes catches contested and in between just 3 players today. So I just think he makes everybody else better. Like, that's the one thing about Steph Diggs. Yeah, we see the player he is, but the amount of attention he gets on the field, again, 3 catches today, but he opened things up for other guys on the field.
You know what I love, and we're going to go back to the calls. You know what I love about this playoff field in the AFC right now, currently, as it currently stands? Yikes. I love the makeup of the field. Okay, with Denver getting the 1 seed, fine. Patriots, Chargers haven't played this season. Broncos, Jaguars have not played this season. Ooh. The Steelers and Texans have not played this season, and the Texans played Baltimore, but it was Cooper Rush. It was not Lamar Jackson. So these are teams that have good teams that haven't matched up this year. That's really interesting to me, and that'll make it even more captivating to me. Let's go to Will, who's in Brockton. Hey, Will. Will. All right, let's go to Gavin. Will can call back. Gavin is in New Hampshire. Hey, Gavin.
Hey, I just want to talk about Rhamondre Stevenson as a pass catcher and just how underrated he is as a pass-catching back. I mean, throughout the whole season, we've kind of seen it, and I just feel like it's something that's not really talked about. And also, how do you think he'll match up? In Trevion, too, catching out of the backfield against the Chargers. Thanks, guys.
I'll just say this. I mean, Rhamondre Stevenson has always been a pass catcher. Rhamondre Stevenson's biggest issues have always been holding on to the football. They've always been. And if you look season by season, right, his second year he had 69 catches. Nice. 38, 33, and 30. So over the last 3 years, this guy has 30 receptions a season. And in 2022, they used him too much. He got overworked. So, yes, he can be dangerous multiple ways, whether it's on the goal line, Whether it's catching the football, did you see the bounce out that he had today too? He kind of cut it, broke a tackle, and then boom, was on his way. Mike Vrabel believed in him. He had to.
That's a great point.
He should have been benched.
Yeah, I was ready to cut him.
There was people exactly. Mike Vrabel believed in this guy, and that's the kind of thing that Vrabel brings to the table, right? They went with Henderson. Henderson had some big games, but when it came to pass protection and who that they want in that spot in big games, it's Rhamondre Stevenson.
And now here we go into the playoffs, and teams are going to have to think about him as they enter a matchup with the Patriots. And whether or not he comes up big or performs or goes crazy, that's a different situation. Just the fact that they're going to have to consider that and think about him as a weapon is going to help the Patriots. Play action, giving him the ball, focusing time on during practice this week on stopping Rhamondre Stevenson, highlighting his ability in meetings. All those things will take away from other areas that the Patriots can attack you with. So that's a big deal. And if he can make some plays in a playoff game, and where running the ball is critical in a playoff game. We don't know what the weather will be next weekend. We can obviously it's probably going to be cold.
I can find out from my guy Ken Mahan of the Globe.
Does he know?
Send him a note. Hey, can you give me a week's projection of next weekend?
I got a line towards Chris Lambert at Channel 7. He can help me out.
That's your guy, yeah.
All right. Will is in Brockton. Let's try Will. Hey, Will.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, sir? Hey, record it.
Was that for TikTok, bro?
I don't know. Okay.
It's on YouTube, by the way, the show, so you don't have to do all that.
It's already being recorded.
Yeah, it's already being recorded.
You can go look back. It feels to me like, I don't want to say it couldn't have gone better. Greg Bedard will join us, by the way, around 8:35, so he's coming up. I don't want to say it couldn't have gone better, but I again look at the consistency of the Patriots this year. I look at how they go into. I mean, the one critique I would have from today, Joe, once again, it looked like early on their defense wasn't stiffening up as intensely as I would have liked. You know what I'm saying? They were relying on the turnovers. They got the stop on fourth down in the red zone. I would have liked a little bit more dominance in terms of forcing a couple punts. That would have been nice. And not having to rely on turnovers. Turnovers are huge. They can change the game. Okay, but they are not something that's not a life I want to live where I have to rely on turnovers to have a good defensive performance. I want stops. I want good game, confusing the quarterback. I want an inability for the opposition to be able to run the ball, all those things, and forcing punts. So I still have questions about the defense, red zone. But, I mean, they've been mentally tough all year. They've come up big. They've been professional all year. And I think if you don't get a dud from the offense, they're going to be good enough. And if you get a dud from the offense, Joe, you're probably not winning a playoff game anyway.
Yeah,
probably.
I would love to see Man, but when you get Spillane back and Milton Williams is in front of him, that's just a much better defense. And Harold Landry got a week off, right? I'm curious. Sometimes, Mark, I live by a motto: careful what you wish for.
Yep.
And the Chargers today sat their guys because they wanted the Patriots. And I would just say, careful what you wish for.
Are you saying that they disrespected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So to be totally honest with you, I think it was more out of self-preservation. That's the way I could be wrong.
They chose rest over.
Yeah, I don't want to say that they disrespected or spat in the idea of playing the Patriots. I just think that I think they were just concerned. Herbert was banged up. They wanted to be healthy going in. They already have injuries along the offensive line. I think they just wanted to be healthy going in.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just now I have a chip on my shoulder.
Good.
now
that makes it more fun.
I hope they're listening to let them know.
Yeah.
They sat their guys because they wanted to face you.
Yeah.
So careful.
How long have you been doing the Joe Murray show?
3 years at night. I've been here 15 years.
Okay, but the Joe Murray show, 3 years at night.
Yeah.
So this is really, really the first time. Were you doing it in 21 when Mac Jones was?
Yes.
You were?
Well, I was here. No. So, yeah.
No. So this
besides
is
the Celtics
so you're going to have a good
championship.
week. Have fun this week, Joey, because you're gonna get to talk about a matchup The X's and O's, like all the things associated with a real match, not 21, where they went to Buffalo and you knew they had no chance. They weren't winning that game. That was forget it. Okay? You're gonna have an opportunity to talk about a real matchup with a team coming in for a play where they could go to the Super Bowl, the Patriots. And you get to talk about all that leading up to the big game at Gillette Stadium next week. And I can't wait. I can't wait to listen. I can't wait to be a part of it. All of the above. All right, let's get caught up. The Steelers-Ravens game is underway. There's been some action. Joey's going to get you caught up with that. And he'll get a headlines coming up after the break. Will be Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal. All right, back here on the Shaws and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray. Unclogging the Gaps, brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipe lining. Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. They give a poop about your pipes. That was Rhamondre Stevenson's 56-yard run, got the Patriots going. It led to a Travion Henderson touchdown, and the Patriots were off on their way to a 38-10 win. And here to talk about that is Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal. I can't believe it's our last visit with Greg Bedard for the regular season on the Patriots postgame show. Greg, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is, good. How are you?
Good, Mark. How are you?
Fired up, 38-10 Patriots, 14 wins after a 4-win season a year ago. And let's start with this, Greg. Just from today's perspective, do you like how the Patriots played it and how they approached the game today against the Dolphins?
I do. I liked just about everything other than that second quarter where it looked like they fell asleep for a little bit. But I thought, like, in terms of the guys who came back, Will Campbell, Milton Williams, getting them, a bunch of playing time to get their legs under them, playing Drake May until the game was firmly in hand. And the way sort of Josh McDaniels called the game, I didn't think that they made it a very heavy Drake May game, and I thought he played terrific. I really liked the way that they played it, and I thought, the way they finished it off after halftime, put their the foot to the pedal and took care of business. I think it was a really good way for them to finish up, and brings a lot of, I think, confidence going in to next week. And a lot of guys got opportunities, and that's always good.
Greg, do you believe in that? Do you believe that, how you play to end a season kind of, helps you towards that postseason game? And for example, I know people are going to bring up it's the Jets and the Dolphins, but they outscored those guys 80-20 in the last two games. Like, they had multiple turnovers today. They had stops in the red zone, and they got 4 rushing touchdowns. Like, that's all 3 phases, and they got a 60-yarder from their rookie kicker who missed one earlier. Like, all 3 phases worked today. Do you believe in those, when those things are good going into the playoffs, it's a benefit for the team?
I do, Joe. I think it helps with confidence, and I think that guys draw confidence by how they execute. I would say the thing that impressed me over these last 2 games, and it's the Jets they're terrible. I knew the Dolphins were going to be a little bit tougher just because Mike McDaniel, his offense is just awesome. It really is. I don't know what kind of head coach he's going to be, but he could be my offensive coordinator anytime, and that was going to cause issues for the Patriots, but it got settled at one point. But I think that, I do. I was really impressed with the efficiency that they played with in basically all 3 phases the last 3 weeks. And as long as they realize that this is an entirely new season and an entirely new challenge, and I think Mike Vrabel definitely signaled that at the podium tonight, and they will be drilling that as well. As long as they understand that this is going to be a humongous challenge, even a Chargers team that's beat up, then I do think it's beneficial. I don't think it's huge because we've seen some teams, like, for example, the Rams last year basically took the final week of the season off and then blew doors against a 14-3 Vikings team. And so I don't think it makes a huge difference, but I think in terms of this team and just continuing to build momentum and just develop a rhythm for playing efficiency, I think that this team has done that.
We've heard people talk about the AFC field. Obviously, Denver gets the number 1 seed today. Some people are opining and have said that they could be the weakest number 1 seed that we've seen in years. I'm not here to debate that. What I'm wondering, though, Greg, is what is going to be the most important thing for the Patriots as they enter this playoff run here? What will be most important for them to make sure that they execute as this thing gets underway?
I guess it would have to be turnovers. I mean, I don't know if that's too simple of a reason, sort of the question that you posed, Mark. But, I think that even tonight, I thought Drake May did a really nice job not putting the ball in harm's way. And I think that, that's really the only thing that's really derailed this team. As long as as long as the quarterback and including like a Rhamondre Stevenson, as long as they take care of the ball and the quarterback plays efficiently and they get, enough stops on defense, this team is hard to beat. It really is. So as long as they just, when they see better defenses, and the Chargers are a good defense, they're 10th in DVOA in defense, and they have a good defensive coordinator, and they're going to throw some things at Drake May that he hasn't seen. As long as they can just don't turn the ball over. It's all right to throw it away. It's all right to punt and play defense. Just don't turn the ball over, and I think they can beat anybody in this league.
Greg, what'd you think of Milton Williams and Will Campbell's play? We saw the nice play from Williams, but on that Rhamondre touchdown, Campbell blocked down hard on that to let him bounce out. So that's all I saw. Did you see anything else with those guys?
Yeah, I watched them a little bit. I didn't, study them intently. I did. The big takeaway with both of those guys is amazing and testament to the Patriots training staff, strength and conditioning staff. Those guys look like they didn't miss a beat. They look like they were ready to go. And I watched Campbell. I wanted to see how he was going to move around. He was wearing a brace on his right knee. I thought he moved really well. I thought he did a good job in the run game, double teaming, getting to the second level. Like you said, a couple of those runs, he's sealing off the linebacker. I mean, I do think some of the Dolphins linebackers were giving up a little bit at one point. But it was good to see Will Campbell sort of, borderline cheap shots at the end of plays, which is sort of a staple of his game. That hasn't gone away. He looked pretty good in pass protection, moved well, so that was really good. I thought Milton Williams' impact was just about instantaneous. I thought he looked terrific. Of course, it's nice when guys like Cole Strange and Savigny, the other horrible guard for the Dolphins, are just not blocking Christian Barmore and Milton Williams. But I thought Milton Williams was impactful. I saw him, later in the game. He basically caused the pressure that allowed Elijah Ponder to get a sack. I thought this was the first time we saw really Christian Barmore have a lot of impact plays, and I think it's no coincidence that it was when Milton Williams came back. And I think he frees up a lot of things from Christian Barmore and also the edge guys. So that's probably the thing I'm most excited about out of those two guys. But I thought Will looked good tonight.
All right, so the Patriots, they get the win. Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal joining us. 14 wins for New England, the 2 seed in the AFC. When we get back, Greg will answer the question that I've been waiting to ask, and that will be, who is going to win the MVP? Will it be Drake May? Will it be Matt Stafford? Greg will opine on that, amongst other things, here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show on the Safety Insurance 98.5 The Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network.
This is Matt.
receiver right, 3 left. Drake drops back to throw. Steps up. He's going to run it down the middle of the field. 45, 40-yard line, trying to get out of bounds, and he does! A sharp right turn from the middle of the field. And he was able to run it to the right, absorb contact from a diving Dolphin, and still get out of bounds. The presence of mind to hurry to his sideline for a clock stoppage at the 41 of Miami.
Calm, cool, collected, 23 years old. The MVP chance continued. No timeouts left. And the awareness of your young quarterback to say, you know what, I'm going to get out of bounds here and stop the clock.
All right, back here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray. Nearly 30,000 people in Massachusetts don't have permanent housing. Heading Home is changing that. Get involved today at headinghomeinc.org. And we have reached, the home stretch. We're through it. That's it. Playoffs are coming. Drake May, a solid performance in week 17, 18, whatever it is. And the Patriots were his team this year. He was going into the game the leader for the NFL MVP award. But since then, according to the odds makers, Matthew Stafford, Drake May, it is dead even. Greg Bedard, who is going to win the MVP award?
You love to put me on the spot, don't you, Mark?
I did. I feel like it's compelling radio if I can get you to. Let's go.
I think May's going to win it. I think it's going to be very close. It could go either way. I think they both have great cases either way. I would not be upset if May wins. I would not be upset if Stafford wins.
Sure.
I think that, but, if I had a vote, and I do not have a vote, I would certainly put, different categories into this whole thing. And, certainly I think, Stafford has a better surrounding cast. Even though, I don't think it's off. I think the Patriots' offensive line and pass protection has been better. And I think that certainly the schedule factor is strong for Stafford. And he put up a lot of gaudy stats, including padded his some today. And Drake did not, even though I thought he played terrific. But I do think that those sort of last 2 showcase games for Matthew Stafford will be lingering for people. And when you look at the Patriots 14-3 record and 2 seed, and the Rams, are a wild card and all that, I think May at the end of the day squeaks by with a victory.
Greg, I'm really interested in the Chargers-Patriots matchup. First, you get Michigan versus Ohio State there, right? Harbaugh versus Vrabel.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a redemption story here for Herbert. If you can remember, he had that comeback win against the Jaguars in the playoffs. He's also thrown multiple interceptions in his career. I mean, this is one of these guys that's been hyped. He's always been very good. But I do believe he could come into New England and challenge this defense. But the offensive line has some issues, right? Their running game could get stopped. To me, I'm a little concerned of Harbaugh, but at the same time, the redemption story of Herbert, do you think that resting them this week will help them? And do you think it was kind of a shot or disrespect to the Patriots by saying, yep, we'll choose the Patriots, we'll go on the road, we'll rest our guys and play them? Was that a shot at the Patriots?
I didn't take it that way, and who knows? Maybe Mike Vrabel will, and at least publicly to the Patriots. And hey, these guys didn't play it out against Denver, which screwed us, and use a little bit of motivation. I mean, I didn't take it that way. I took it with Justin Herbert. At least the last time I looked, I think this was going into this week. He had taken the 3rd most sacks in the league, and he was by far the most hit quarterback in the league, and he was absolutely beat up. Warrior playing with getting surgery on his left hand, and he's just taken an absolute beating this year. I don't think they had any other choice than to rest a bunch of guys because they are that beat up. At one point, I think they were down to their 8th offensive tackle, and their offensive line is terrible. I think this is going to be a tough game, but I just don't think that the Chargers. Especially with their offensive line, and they don't have much of a running game. I just don't think they can score enough to beat the Patriots on the road as a West Coast team coming east in the weather. I think the world of Herbert. I think Harbaugh is a really good coach. I think Minter's an excellent defensive coordinator, and he's going to have some things. It's going to be a challenge for Drake May and this offense and Josh McDaniels. They're gonna come up with some stuff that he hasn't seen yet, and I don't think he's just going to roll throughout the game. But I just don't see how the Chargers, with their offensive line and the lack of a running game, and they don't really have any great weapons, I just don't see how they score enough to beat the Patriots.
Okay, I just want to ask about the Patriots, and I guess we obviously know Drake May has been the MVP of this team. We'll see what happens with the league. Who would be the most important Patriot going into a game like this, Greg, not named Drake May? And who would you really highlight if you had to put a little magic potion on somebody to give them the extra energy they need to really ball out next week?
That is a really good, I'll throw a couple different names in there. Number one on the offensive side, besides Drake May, I think Hunter Henry. I was just reading something by my buddy Aaron Schatz about how one of the weaknesses, and the Chargers have a really good pass defense. Like I was just looking, like their DVOA against different receiver types. I think number 2 and number 3 receivers, they're like number 2 in the league, and a couple others like, running back, I think they're 7th, but they're 27th against tight ends. And like even a guy like Travis Kelce, in his current state, he went for 70 yards against them. So I think Hunter Henry is going to be important against this defense to be a reliable outlet for Drake May. And defensively, I guess I would say Harold Landry, because they need to, even though really their entire line is horrible. Their guards aren't any good. If you look at their PFF rankings, left guard, center, and right guard, they're all like last in the league in PFF ratings. And the tackles, they're down to like 5th and 6th tackles. Landry's gotten some rest these past couple weeks. He needs to come through and not let Justin Herbert escape to his right and make plays on the run, like all that stuff. So those are two guys that I would highlight. I certainly want to see Robert Spillane get back and be a really good player, but those are the two guys I would highlight for now.
Just real quick, just to piggyback off that real quick, Joey. Ladd McConkey, is he your biggest problem for the Chargers, or is there somebody else you'd look towards in this matchup?
Ladd McConkey would be a guy that I worry about.
8 for 94,
I do like
2
the tight
touchdowns
ends
last year when he came here. That's why.
Yep. Rhamondre Gadsden, the tight end. Yep. I don't think the Patriots are great against tight ends. I think between, Will Dissly's also a good tight end and a good option. Defensively, I think they're going to have some issues with the guys on the edge between Khalil Mack and Odafe Owe, who they got in a trade with the Ravens, who was one of these edge guys that the Patriots were trying to get. So those guys are tough out there. And St. Juste, the left cornerback, he's been one of the best cornerbacks in the league this year. I don't know how that happened, but it had been. But, this defense is going to be formidable. That's why it's going to be important for them to take care of the ball.
All right, Greg, we're looking forward to it next week. It's going to be something we can break down. Hey, Mark actually brought this up, so I wanted to ask you before we let you go. Do you think the Patriots could use a different defense? We've talked about maybe Christian Gonzalez playing man could be a much better player, or at least look better. Could the Patriots use that kind of look? You mentioned Landry could have a big impact. Could they go a little bit of man? And, you saw Marcus Jones blitz from the outside today. Could they do some different things to challenge that offensive line?
They could, Joe, and this is something I think we've talked about, or I certainly have, the whole year. And I wrote a column recently about, Christian Gonzalez, and they need to figure out what they're going to be long term, because if they're not going to be a man team, and I will say, going back to some of Vrabel's last seasons in Tennessee, they ran less man coverage than the Patriots have this year. So, but the possibility is there that they could come out in the postseason, be high, holding all this stuff back, and all of a sudden they're playing 60% man in the postseason, and they throw a curveball and shut down a bunch of teams. I have to allow for that, but from what I've seen, and given Mike's Mike's history, he just kind of likes to scheme. And they do what they do, and they have these pressures, and they have these zone coverages that they really like to do. I don't love it. I don't love it for this personnel. It's a conversation to have in the offseason, what kind of defense they're going to have going forward, because if they're not going to be a man-heavy team, well, what's the point in having Christian Gonzalez making $35 million a year? Those are definitely pertinent questions, and they have the ability to play as much man coverage as anybody in the league, but they have not done that. Is it because of that their scheme, or they're afraid of linebackers and safeties who also have to play man-to-man if you go to more man? It's hard to tell.
All right, Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal, as we await for the official word from the NFL on what time the game will be, what day the time the game.
Any guesses, Greg, from you on that?
My guess is the Saturday night game, but I have a feeling. I've been trying to figure it out and talking to some people. I think the NFL prefers to put the winner of tonight's game in the Monday night game. I am fearful of a Monday night game. But I think it's either Saturday night, probably Saturday night. Maybe 1 o'clock on Sunday.
All right. Okay. Greg thinks Saturday night. We'll see.
I think. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but I think Packers Bears are going to be probably 4:30 on Sunday, and then Sunday night will be. Is that Rams Eagles or 49ers Eagles?
I thought the Rams are going to Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Carolina's
maybe it's San Francisco.
Yeah, it could be San Fran there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think would they go with the big market of, New England at night and then obviously L.A. But I just don't know if I want that Monday night game because they're playing. I think they're playing a game on Monday.
They are.
Whew.
Yep, they are.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we get the official word sooner rather than later. Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal joining us. Greg, great regular season. We appreciate the knowledge and the time as always.
Absolutely. Thanks to you guys, too.
Thanks, all right. So when we get back, Joey's going to get us for quick headlines here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. But before that happens, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Safety Insurance 98.5, the Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network.
is driven toward the upright. And that kick is good!
Big one!
At the buzzer! The rookie Borregales nails it from 59. And the Patriots regain a 7-point lead. It's 17-10 New England. Halftime in Foxborough.
Back here in the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray, 617-779-0985. Once again, this season is part of their Apex Cares program. Apex Entertainment will be donating $100 to support autism education and research at the New England Center for Children for every converted field goal. For more information, go to apexentertainment.com.
Does that bother you? The him missing 2 kicks in back-to-back. Like, here I am. I'm giving the Patriots all this credit for scoring 80 points in 2 weeks, giving up 20, and they're good in the red zone and turnovers, and their kicker has missed 2 field goals in 2 straight weeks. But he hit a 60-yarder. So it's almost like this is what I mean by the playoffs, Mark. You're going to have a rookie left tackle, right? Drake May is going to be playing in his first game. And he's played through adversity, so I'll give him that. But, a couple of the guys after the game today were like, Christian Gonzalez was in tears. He's like, my dream was to play in the playoffs. There's guys on that roster who've never been there before. So the Chargers have.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots win the game off of how bad their offensive. Dude, they lost both their star tackles.
Yes.
They're on tackle 7.
And you heard what Greg said about some of the interior guys. They do not grade out well.
They're not good.
Especially when you're talking about Williams and Barmore being back and forceful together.
Herbert's willed that team.
Yeah.
And Keenan Allen's been a big part of it coming back. Gadsden's huge. I told you this. He's a tight end. He's not. He can play anywhere he wants on the field. I think he's played in the backfield too. I'm just saying that in Harbaugh, he had to leave college. I know that, right? For personal reasons. Yep. I just think that they wanted the Patriots. I know everyone's saying it's not disrespect. That's how I feel. I look at that and say they tanked for rest to get the Patriots. Buffalo could have done that today too. You know that, right? They did. They ended up, Well,
Josh Allen did he play series?
Did he? Yeah, last year.
They love doing that. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I wonder if the sports books pick up. Did they account for that?
Yeah, they blew the doors off. They were double digits. Most of the double digit favorites all covered today.
Yeah,
most of them at least. There's concerns here. This isn't the tomato can. But is this the best matchup for the Patriots out of the teams remaining? It probably is because of the roster that Harbaugh's kept that together and Herbert's kept that together, but Khalil Mack, I know he's old. He can still rush the passer. They have some guys that can play that have been there before. So that's the only thing. Does that matter? Does the experience matter in this case?
It could. Obviously, I'm a big Jim Harbaugh fan. It hasn't been what I thought it would be in Los Angeles. He's been good. They've been good. But I don't view them. I think the Patriots win the game. I just feel like they're more together. I feel like they're more dynamic. Defensively, they might not be quite as much of a playmaking group, but they can get the job done. And I don't know. I feel like Jim Harbaugh is just a little erratic. He's become erratic to me. I don't know what I'm going to get. It kind of always looks like he's staring through you. I just don't know what I'm getting with him. And I don't know if I necessarily if I trust him enough to put this sophisticated game plan together. I know they killed you last year, but that was a different regime. I don't see it. Yeah, I just don't see Mike Vrabel being overwhelmed. I know May and a lot of their guys don't have experience, but I don't see that being the difference.
See, I think that's a good point. Vrabel and May have a thing.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys on the same page learning about each other and learning. I don't know if Herbert or Harbaugh sees Herbert that way.
Right.
Because remember he said J.J. McCarthy was the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are right. He's a guy's a little erratic.
He wants to run the ball. They like to play deep. I'm not sure. I just don't see the Patriots. I see them being predictable in ways that I feel like Mike Vrabel will be ready for. And it's, I still do believe a little bit, even though I've waned over the years on the Patriots' home field advantage at Gillette Stadium. I still feel like a Southern Cal team coming to Gillette, Foxborough weather, all the stuff, the cold, whatever it is. I hope it's bad weather. I still feel like that matters. That plays into it a little bit. Kevin's in Foxborough. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, so I just feel like the Patriots are really limited come playoff time when they go up against, playoff tested teams. When it comes to the run game and their defense, I just think that they're really limited with the run game and their defense isn't playoff tested.
Well, I mean, they're not playoff tested. But, I mean, look, I was watching on the screen today, Joe. We were in that room over there. We were watching. And I'm thinking to myself, they got Barmore and Williams are back. You can figure out how you feel about Caleb on Chason and Landry and whomever on the edge. Spillane has, when he was in there, he's been decent. And, Jack Gibbons has been pretty decent when he stepped in. I don't know what Tonga's availability will be. And then I look at the secondary, and I'm looking out there, and I see Gonzalez, I see Jones, I see Davis, I see Woodson, I see Hawkins. I mean, it's a pretty decent collection. Are they elite? Do they have a nickname? No. But, I mean, I don't know. With Vrabel and what they've done this year, I don't feel awful. Do I feel like that's the biggest question mark? I do. But I don't feel terrible about the defense, despite the fact that they're not tested.
That caller that just mentioned there's the Patriots have these holes. So I just want you to know, Slater and Alt legitimately are two of the better tackles in all of them.
Correct.
And if they were playing...
Didn't Alt make the Pro Bowl despite being hurt?
Yep. And despite, them not playing. If they played, I'd be they could build... you mentioned build a bully and run. But the Pats have their two best run guys back, right? Today they show that well. But they're going with, I think Jameer... I think they have Bobby Hart be their left tackle.
Yep.
Who, again, do you know much about Bobby Hart? No.
I've never heard of the man.
Yeah, exactly. So... that's what I mean. They have the Vidarian Lowe at left tackle. And I'm not crapping on him. Their center's hurt. You probably know who Zion Johnson is. He played at BC. But he's their big left guard. And Mekhi Becton. Those are their guards. They have nobody else that's healthy. They have two starters that are healthy, that were drafted high. Everyone else is hurt. So I do where I think the pressure should come from. Bedard mentioned Harold Landry. But, I think it can come from more on the inside.
Yeah. And they're going to need it to. They're going to have to establish that. You can't have a game where you have all these holes along the offensive line and then a quarter and a half in. I haven't felt that whatever you want, that deficit.
Yes.
They need to make sure they take advantage of that, whether that's through scheme, some blitzes, just four-man fronts getting home or getting some pressure. You have to take advantage of that. You don't want to give this team any momentum. And I'm sorry, I know people will laugh and people have dismissed it, and I totally get it. But I do think the fact that they came in here in late December last year and blew doors is going to be on their minds. I think they are going to have some good vibes coming into Gillette Stadium. Herbert was awesome in that game. He did what he wanted in that game. It's a different team, and hopefully he snaps out of that confidence quickly. But I do think that will be a part of this when he comes here, just because it was last year. It was during the cold weather season. I forget what the day, it wasn't that cold that day, but it was still winter. Gillette, they killed you. I think that's going to matter. 617-779-0985. This is the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show on the Safety Insurance 98.5, the Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network. I think he is, but I would fire him.
So, like, think of all these quarterbacks, dude. Tua Tagovailoa is probably gone, right?
He should be.
Kyler Murray is probably gone.
I'm not
right?
as hardcore on Kyler. I like Kyler better than Tua, but I think he's gone based on everything I've read and heard.
Like, Justin Fields is probably done.
Yeah, he should be.
I mean, is Deshaun, like, what's going on in Cleveland? Is it Shedeur Sanders in the future?
No, he's terrible. He's
like,
terrible. He's not a quarterback.
So
I mean, he's a quarterback, but he's not a starting quarterback in the league.
And, like, the Colts, Richardson they drafted in the first round. Like, I just think about these quarterbacks.
You know what? That's interesting. You were asking me off the air about Kyler. That would be one place I'd entertain. Indy. I think the Colts would be an interesting. I mean, if I'm the Cardinals, I'm not sending him to San Francisco. Indy would be a place I would entertain. I think he'd be better than Jones and Richardson.
And I think Richardson could probably learn.
Could learn a little bit, maybe. I would do that. And they have some weapons, too. Downs, Pittman, Pierce. Was it Pierce who had a big game today?
Yep.
Warren's a good player. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Pierce went over 1,000 yards this year. I couldn't believe that. But, like, just looking around the league, like, the Raiders probably will move on from Geno, I assume.
No, you need a draft. You got to get that kid from Indiana.
And I just look around the league, and I'm just, where are these guys going to go? Like the Falcons, who is their quarterback? They just fired their coach. What do you do now?
Yeah.
You spent all that money on Cousins. You gave up draft capital for Penix.
Well, the first thing you have to decide is where you are on Michael Penix. Can he still be the quarterback of the future or not?
Can he even be ready for the season?
I know.
don't even know.
That doesn't help. But you have to decide. Man, who's the Giants quarterback? Is it going to be Jackson Dart?
But the guy runs every game.
And he's got a bad mentality. He thinks he doesn't need to worry about getting hit. I mean, somebody's got to wake his ass up.
What's the best job available at the moment?
The best
Giants, Falcons. Trying to think of who else is available that fired their coach already. The Tennessee will probably move on from their coach.
Yeah, I don't like that job though. The best job available.
Is it the Giants?
No, because of Dart. I don't like Dart. I'll tell you what. I don't love
Vegas.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they don't have a quarterback. I don't mind the situation in Atlanta. I mean, you got Bijan Robinson and Drake London. That's a pretty good start from a weapons perspective.
Pretty good defense.
You got Kyle Pitts, decent defense. If you like Penix and if you have an idea of how to proceed, that's not a bad spot. Just while we're talking about quarterbacks, it feels, Joey, like the tables have turned a little bit and that a lot of people are conceding now the MVP to Matthew Stafford. Tom Brady, I didn't hear it, but he allegedly during the broadcast kind of declared Stafford the MVP. I saw Dan Orlovsky on Twitter said that the race is over, sort of alluding to Stafford. And now Stafford on one of the books is the favorite, minus 120.
Let's have the conversation as we're not on the Patriots Radio Network. I don't want anyone to think we're biased.
Okay.
But can we just look at the Patriots winning the AFC East and being the 2 seed and that quarterback being valuable? Where did the Rams end up?
The 5 seed.
Okay, and they've lost their division, right? So you're going to award a guy that lost his division and also, he was a stat patter. I'm being, as fair as I can be.
Yeah.
Stafford's a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. But is this now to solidify it? Because just to me, like, I don't care about the award in the long run. I want the Patriots to be. I want them to go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they can. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But if I'm just being unbiased, just feel what Drake May did this year was just more valuable. But he also broke every nerd statistic there is.
Yeah.
How many times have we heard DVOA tonight?
Oh, Greg loves DVOA.
This guy's broken every record.
Yeah.
Was number one in almost every category. So the voters are just going to look away from those statistics that people always talk about. So why, like, oh, well, the DVOA. My whole thing is just, if we're talking MVP, it can't just be because the guy's won a Super Bowl before and what he's done in the past. Like, think about this season alone. Where would the New England Patriots be without Drake May? Because if you took Matt Stafford on the field, they still got Jimmy Garoppolo and a great coach and great receivers. So And again, I gave you that 1 yard touchdown thing. I don't know how you feel about that. Do you give him credit for scoring on 1 yard plays, or is it more of a layup on the 1 yard
hold
plays?
that against him. He found a way to.
I mean, he broke a record of how many 1 yard
helps that situation. Look, this is what now you know how I feel. The Rams actually, it looks like they finished second in the division. Okay, so they were tied with the 49ers. You know how I feel. I just don't think valuable means more. And you have a quarterback in that division. I understand the Seahawks have a really good roster, good team, strong defense, but he couldn't beat out Sam Darnold for the division. Sam Darnold. And he's had a great year. Don't get me wrong. But you're going to make that guy the MVP? Because it's not Matt Stafford and everyone else on the Rams. You got a great offensive line. You got the best receiver. I mean, Puka Nacua might be the best catcher of the football. It's his Randy Moss. Or so. I mean, he is unbelievable. The way it might be one of the top 5 receivers in the league.
And Devontae Adams.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. He still catches touchdowns like it's his job because it is. You've got one of the best, if not the best, head coach in the league. He's not working alone.
Yeah. And they draft well. They'll give up those picks. They don't care.
So
they'll trade everybody away.
May is my MVP just because I think he's significantly more valuable. But I do think it's going to go to Stafford. I think they're going to give it to Stafford. I think people are going to fall into the lifetime thing. They're going to look at the schedule thing, and they're going to buy it.
How do you feel about like yards per attempt? Does that
meaningful to me?
Okay. How about completion percentage?
Meaningful to me.
Okay, because this is what he did. Drake May led the league in yards per attempt. With a team that didn't have an offensive line to start the year.
Yeah.
That had to rebuild the whole thing from the bottom.
Lost their left tackle midseason.
And you know, we mentioned this off the air, but Travion Henderson had over 1,100 yards of total yards this year. That hasn't been done by a Patriots running back since Robert Edwards and Curtis Martin.
Great pull.
Like, just now that helps Drake May, right? But he still put up the numbers. He still did it. So I'm throwing the numbers out the way. Drake May has changed football in New England. He's changed really the whole entire AFC, the conference. And not to mention, that draft now is coming through. Right? People criticize it. Is it Caleb Williams? You know, is it Drake May that you want? Like last year it was Jaden Daniels. He was the prize pick there. But like that draft class is taken over. Caleb Williams should be an MVP candidate. Probably won't get it, but should be in that conversation. I just think it's hard to go from a guy who didn't play at multiple schools to sitting behind Jacoby Brissett for playing on a crap team, goes into the offseason with a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. He's had a new coordinator for like 4 straight years. It's just the transformation of Drake May. It's way faster than the transformation from Matt Stafford ever in his career.
Correct. Even when he went to LA, it wasn't that level of transformation. Look, am I going to be upset if Matt Stafford wins the award? I'm not going to be upset. But I will say you're wrong. If you vote for Matt Stafford, you're wrong. He's not the most valuable player. This is a clear scenario where we should approach it the way it was approached a year ago, where Lamar Jackson was first-team All-Pro quarterback and Josh Allen was the MVP. This is that, and that's what should happen. Drake May is more valuable, bar none, to his team than Matt Stafford. Doesn't mean Stafford didn't have a great season. He did make him the first-team All-Pro quarterback. But Drake May, the statistics are comparable. It's close enough statistically, and he was significantly more valuable to the Patriots than Stafford, respectfully, was to the Rams. That's it to me. End of story. That's what it should be, and that's what they should think about when they go to vote. I don't have a vote. You don't have a vote. That's what it should be, though. And if you vote for Stafford because of some lifetime achievement thing or whatever, no, you're wrong. And I think that's the wrong way to do it, but I don't have a vote. 617-779-0985. More to come here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. But first, let's get a headlines from Joe.
Sports Hub head.
these running backs, when you split them out and you like the matchup, if it's a big safety or if it's a linebacker, we used to do this with Gronk. Flex them out, and if you get the matchup, little stick move, it's almost a double move. It's a great route by a running back.
Back here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Mark Dondero, Joe Murray, 617-779-0985. Let's hit the phones. Corey is in the car. Hey, Corey.
All right. So before I say I'm a selfish Patriots fan, the Patriots are 2 plays away from being a 24-24 game here. I know they won 38-10, but I didn't think it was that good of a game, and it left a very, very bad feeling in my stomach. I did not like the way they played, but I want to hear to you if they played a little, they took the foot off the pedal, or they were trying to play situational football, but it didn't look good to me. I was at the game today. It didn't look good to me. I want to know your thoughts.
Okay, so I don't blame you for feeling that kind of way, Corey. What I didn't like, and I said this earlier, I didn't like the fact that they had to rely so much on turnovers and that they were kind of letting the Dolphins go up and down the field. Because it's not like you're talking about Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Achane out there. Who was out there? They didn't have Waller out there. I mean, they just had nobody, it felt like, out there. And you still had to rely a little bit too much on some heroic turnovers and plays on 4th and 1 where they made a stupid call and Quinn Ewers. I just didn't like that. But I also don't think that's a game to play, because if we wanted to play that game, we could play that game overall with the season. The Patriots are a couple of bad losses away from being undefeated. I mean, how many times have we said it? They should never have lost to the Steelers. They lost to the Steelers, who turned the ball over. The Patriots did 5 times. They lost by a touchdown. They lost to the Raiders, who might be the worst team in the league. Okay, and then they lost to the Bills after being up 24-7.5 and 21-0. Like, they should be undefeated. They could have been undefeated. So I'm not going to play that game. But, yeah, I understand. Was it a perfect performance? No. And I'm still concerned about the defense. But my hope is they're so together and they're so locked in offensively, the defense doesn't have to be special. They just have to be professional and consistent, and that will be enough in the playoffs.
Red zone defense played well and forced 2 turnovers, and they stopped the run. They only give up 63 yards rushing.
There you go.
So to me, like, those are important things to build on. The other thing too is it was a vanilla defense.
Yeah.
Towards late in the game, like they kept converting on these little easy slants over the middle.
Yeah.
Like it was, and I'll give Quinn Ewers he made some good throws. Like, Carlton Davis kept everything in front of him. Christian Gonzalez would have had an interception if his feet didn't tangle up.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
No, but
there was no scheme.
No, and the other thing was you did see some of the guys you got back make an impact. Like Milton Williams made an impact, and his impact then resulted in Christian Barmore making an impact.
Sack, yep.
So that was positive. I still get frustrated by Carlton Davis. But again, as a number 2, you just hope he doesn't make the big mistake when you just can't have a big mistake, and that he'll make a play when you need a play. I just think they're closer to being back to what they were based on what we saw today, even though it's a tough spot. You're going up against guys you've never probably studied. You don't know what to expect. If you don't have as sophisticated of a game plan, that could kind of throw you off. I'm not going to ring alarm bells because of that. I'm just going to, keep it in mind as we go into the playoffs. It's a very interesting field right now. So right now the matchups that we know of, okay, Buffalo will play Jacksonville, have not played this year. Chargers will visit New England. So that game will be in Jacksonville. The Buffalo-Jacksonville game will be in Jacksonville. New England hosts the Chargers. Houston will play the winner of the Steelers and Ravens. Right now, Baltimore's up 10-3. They're approaching halftime. NFC, the Rams will visit the Panthers, who are 8-9. The 49ers will visit the Eagles. Packers, Bears in Chicago. Where's the juice for you, Joey?
Ooh, so if I just started in the NFC, Bears-Packers is real to me.
Divisional game.
I think Jeff Hafley's got a chance to be the head coach of the Falcons. If I'm them, I look for I know they just went defensive, but Halfley's this upriser was at BC.
Yeah.
I there's something about that game. I mean, but the Packers will be without obviously their best pass rusher. 49ers Eagles. Can the 49ers come off that bad loss and beat an Eagles team that looked pretty good the last time I didn't watch today because it was meaningless. But
person play.
Rams Panthers. The Panthers just beat them. I just don't think they'll beat them in the playoffs. McVay is just too. Jaguars Bills in. Give me that one.
Great matchup.
Right?
Matchup.
Like, give me that one because I am starting to think the Jaguars are more like a really talented team.
Yes.
And they're like elevating, right? Because they're all getting better. Still am not betting against Josh Allen in that situation. But playing at Jacksonville, it's funny, I had to look this up today. But the Pats played in Jacksonville 1998 playoffs, first game ever at Jacksonville.
Yep.
Bledsoe got hurt. You know who the quarterback was that day?
I was pissed.
Scott Zolak.
I just didn't think they played well. The whole team didn't play well.
Robert Edwards scored a touchdown that day.
Yeah, they gave up a big run.
Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor ate that day. They gave up Ty Law got burnt by Jimmy Smith, I think, in that game.
But playing in Jacksonville, that won't be easy.
No,
that won't be easy, and it's a big test.
I'll tell you, if they can win that game, even with Josh Allen, it's a big boy win.
Yeah.
That'd be a really impressive win. Based on how Jacksonville's been playing, that would be a huge win for Buffalo and Josh Allen. That would speak to me if they win that game.
Jags have won before. I know it was against the Titans and Josh Dobbs, but Trevor Lawrence is one of these guys with something to prove too, right?
Yeah.
So Herbert's the same way. Like, this is why I'm trying to be unbiased when it comes to the games. Herbert's got a ton to prove. He does. I just don't think he's got the protection. The Jaguars, though, they got something there. They're without Hunter, right? Remember
without Hunter,
they made all those trades.
But they've got
draft.
that kid Washington that's really stepped up. Obviously, Jacoby Myers has been huge for them. Brian Thomas has been pretty good. He's been a good receiver for them. If you could only watch one NFC game, one of the three, which one you watching?
It's always, I don't know why, it's always Josh Allen for me.
No, one of the NFC games.
NFC
game.
NFC games, I mean, I guess give me 49ers Eagles because it's just the Eagles.
I don't know how that one's going to go.
Yeah.
It's interesting that, the 49ers, I felt I would have been even more captivated had they shown a little bit more to me offensively last night. The fact that they kind of sputtered last night offensively makes me think that the Philadelphia Eagles will control that game. But obviously, that's going to be massive in Chicago. The way that Green Bay has owned the Bears, and now they're coming in there in a playoff situation. The first year they've really popped with Ben Johnson. And I'm interested in the Rams just because they lost the last time they went to Carolina.
I got some homework to do, but I want to know what it is when a team lays down the week before a playoff game and sets up their opponent and how they respond. Because I think it happened for the Rams last year. They went to the NFC Championship game. I think we'll find out with the Bills. They did it last year too, right?
Yeah.
And they lost to the Ravens. So, I don't know. I'm going to look that up.
I would love to see the Ravens. It's a close game right now with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's driving. I would love to see if the Ravens end up playing the Texans. That would be a fun matchup to watch for me.
One other thing. I just looked at the odds. Mike Vrabel's minus 400 to win the Coach of the Year. I think Liam Cohen's done a hell of a job.
Hell of a job.
Like Duval. They had Duval posters today, all in the stands.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun. And then when you look at the one seeds, I don't know. The Seahawks, Sam Darnold and Bo Nix.
Imagine that Super Bowl.
Man.
Denver versus Sam Darnold. That'd be bad.
Yeah, that'd be real bad. That'd be bad. All right. When we get back, I have one more quick thought I want to throw at you, Joe, about the MVP. Just while we were having this discussion, it dawned on me, and I just want to get your take on that. We'll do that. We'll wrap things up in a little bit here because the Patriots, 14 wins, have wrapped up the regular season after a 4-win season. They won 38-10 today over the Miami Dolphins. And it's the first time, did you have this note? The first time they swept the Dolphins? Since when?
Since, was it 16?
Yeah, 15 or 16 from the first Trump administration. It was the first. It's been a while. Tua has owned them. Not anymore. They finally sweep the Dolphins, thanks in large part to Rhamondre Stevenson, who owned Miami for some reason this year. All right, we'll be back. More of this show, the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show, coming up on the Safety Insurance 98.5 The Sports on Patriots Radio Network.
Herbert brings the man in motion from the right, takes the snap, turns, play fake, rolling to his right, got a man in the back of the end zone, throws, and it's caught by Gadsden for the touchdown.
All right, back here on the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show, we are awaiting word, the official word of when the Patriots will play their playoff game. It should be coming any moment now. Just one thing about the MVP, Joe, I wanted to throw at you. I forget exactly. I know Bert Breer has a vote, so he would know, obviously. When do they vote for this award? Do you know when they vote for this award? Because I know it's a regular season award, but you know what I'm getting at? Will the playoff just as an example, if Matt Stafford, if they fell again to the Panthers and lose the first playoff game, or the Patriots, maybe they throw up a dud and lose. Is that going to affect the MVP? I think it is. I think it will.
It has before. I mean, some guys have won and then they.
If that vote's not supposed to be in yet, I think human nature, I think it will affect the award.
Yeah, so I'm reading here. There's actually an article from Pro Football Network, and they talked about like what goes into the award and things to that degree. The divisional round is none of that. So I think it might be this week before the games. They'll like have a vote
where they actually physically vote,
but they won't release the vote.
Okay, so they should do that. If it's a regular season award, you should vote now. You should not allow for the jury to hear or see anything else while they're deliberating.
Winner will be announced February 6th, and I think they just came out with the.
Well, there's yelling back there.
Go. Sunday night.
Are you
football.
Serious?
Oh,
that is unbelievable. Sunday night.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the Patriots will play Sunday night football at home against the Chargers. It'll be both. Why would they put two NFC teams on Saturday? Is it because it's a West Coast thing? Sunday night. Patriots, Chargers, Sunday night. I didn't catch so it'll be the two NFC games on Saturday. I didn't see what. So we heard, by the way, every scenario except for Sunday night. We heard Saturday night. We heard Monday night. We heard Sunday at 1. We did not hear Sunday night. It'll be Sunday Night Football. 7:30 though, a little earlier, or is that the pregame? No, that's pregame.
Yeah. Oh man, you ready, man? You ready for this? Yeah, of course. I'm ready. Give it to me.
I can't wait for the game.
I do feel bad for our technical group back there, okay, who will thank shortly before we go, because that's a long day, right? That's a 4 to.
It's a long day.
That's a 4 to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's good if they win.
Yeah.
If they lose, that's it. So, wow. So you're going to get both markets, L.A., New England, Sunday night. Wow. I thought it'd be Saturday, to be honest with you. I really did. Sunday night?
Yeah, well, I figured they had the chance for the night because of the L.A. thing. I thought it was going to be a Saturday game, too.
I felt the rumble from their production
but maybe
room.
because, we did hear something. But maybe because the Chargers were on. It was somebody saying this, that the Chargers were on the road today, so that's probably factored in.
I wanted to throw this in there. So they went 5-3. They lost today though. So they really went 5-2 on the road this year. They played well.
Yeah.
But you're right. They played on the road, so they probably want to give them it's Saturday night. It's less days, right?
Sunday night.
Oh, Sunday night. So 7, whatever. So this is the lineup. It's going to be the first game will be Panthers and
you knew that was going to be in
Rams.
that spot. The Panthers always play that first one.
And then Saturday night it's Packers Bears.
I'm just surprised they put both NFC teams in the same day.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then Sunday, 1:00, Bills Jaguars. The pregame before the Pats will be 49ers Eagles. And then the Monday night game will be the Texans and the winner of this Ravens Steelers game.
Yeah, it was definitely the West Coast thing that put it at night. I just don't understand why they didn't save. I would have put one of the AFC games on Saturday.
And the Texans played at 1 today, so now they're going to play. They're going to get an extra day's rest.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't change much in terms of the matchup.
No.
But, okay. So that's when we're going to play this game. And we get a weather report for Sunday night yet or not? No?
I believe it will be 50 in the 50s.
Okay, that's not ideal.
Which is not great.
No. Especially it's been freezing cold. Ponds are freezing. And we're going to get a 50-degree play. I don't like that. I was hoping for 12. Maybe 9.
Yeah. I went to that Titans game in 02 or 03, whatever. It was freezing. We got beers and they froze before we got back to the seats.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old was Joe Murray?
2002. I was probably 22.
Yeah, that was
22, 23.
Yeah, that was 03, I want to say. I forget. That was
yeah.
It was the second. It was the second run.
I was of age.
Yeah. No, I wasn't questioning that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, the Patriots have been really good at night. I don't know if that factors in. Their primetime night games, 2 of their biggest games this year were at night, Sunday night, and they played great for the most part.
Primetime Drake.
They've had good performances in the night window, in the primetime slot. So I don't know if that's a factor or not. But they should be. I mean, I think it'll be a good matchup, and I think that they need to find a way to exploit the weakness of the Chargers, which is glaring, and it's that offensive line. And I don't want to be a quarter and a half in and say, why aren't they getting any pressure on Herbert? I think that's the first thing I'm going to look for in the game.
I'd like to know about Chaseon's injury. So anybody that's down there and tomorrow, I want to know about that injury. It's important.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't addressed enough or addressed really at all in the postgame.
And just so everyone knows, that game will not be on Fox. Obviously, it'll be on NBC, so you'll be able to watch that game. I know some people have had Fox issues.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So.
Okay, Sunday Night Football. Is that Tirico? Are we going to get Tirico and Collinsworth?
Yeah.
So it's the A team there. Patriots going back to the playoffs. Sunday Night Football hosting the Chargers, 8:20. So they'll be playing that game a week from right now. They'll be in the second,
In
about
history,
halftime.
have the Patriots ever lost to the Chargers? Oh, yeah, back in the 90s. Or
playoffs?
Yeah, because
talking playoffs?
Yeah, they won all the Brady years.
I don't remember a game in the 90s.
Yeah.
Did they play them in the 90s?
Troy Brown won where they still won the game. That
was one of the great. It was such a shame that game wasn't on a DVD somewhere for a championship, because that was such an epic comeback, an epic game. Remember how good that team was, 14-2. Tomlinson, Merriman, they got pissed after the game because they were dancing on the lights out dance and all that. Man, what a team. It's a shame they couldn't finish that season off. Speaking of teams, what a great team. Our crew in Foxborough, producer Mark Capello, engineer Dennis Knudsen, sideline techs Tyler Knudsen and Mike Perry, and our guys here in Waltham in the studios here, intern Luke Arnpriester, studio technician Kevin Majori, and executive producer Jeremy Conley. Pepsi is the official soft drink of the Patriots. They have teamed with Shaw's and Star Market for Sacking Hunger today. The Patriots recorded, how many sacks did they record today, Joey? Let's get that number right real quick.
I know Barmore had 1. I don't have them in front of me, but
I'm going to look it up right now.
Barmore had a sack. I'm trying to think of. Oh, no, they had a couple.
Getting it right now. Sacks, because we want to make sure we have they had 4 sacks today.
Wow.
Patriots. So good pressure heading into the playoffs. And again, because they had their guys in, they wanted, you wanted to see that. You wanted to feel that, and that was good. That's what they have with Williams in there. So there's another $4,000 donated by the Shaw's and Star Market Nourishing Neighbors Foundation to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston to help end hunger. So the Patriots, they get the 38-10 win. They get to 14 wins on the season, and they are going to host on Sunday Night Football next week the Los Angeles Chargers in their quest to go back to the Super Bowl, maybe win championship number 7. We'll see. Long way to go, but this is the start you needed. Any last words here in the regular season, Joe Murray?
No, I think that they could have the Coach of the Year, and MVP of the Year, and Rookie of the Year all in one team.
All right, sounds good. For Joe Murray, I'm Mark Dondero. This has been the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots post-game show. On to the playoffs on the Safety Insurance 98.5 The Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network.
This has been the Shaw's and Star Market Patriots postgame show. Shaw's and Star Market makes shopping, ordering online, and saving easier than ever. Download the Shaw's Deals and Delivery app or